I'm continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I'm reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. Right now, I am in the book of 1 Samuel. I am starting in chapter 15. Saul is now king. He has been vexing his enemies for an unspecified number of years. So we pick this up in chapter 15. Now, before I start reading, one other thing. There are, two things. It's somewhat a long chapter. I will be dividing it into two videos. In addition, there are Joseph Smith translations. I don't have my complete Joseph Smith translation book with me. But what the Joseph Smith translation is, it is an inspired correction or translation of the Bible done by Joseph Smith to restore or correct passages that had been lost over the years. And there are two such translations in the footnotes printed in the Bible that the church prints. I'm pretty sure they're the only two there, but we will be looking at those as we read along. Anyways, chapter 15. Let us see how this goes. Saul commanded to smite and destroy the Amalekites and all that they have. He saved some animals to sacrifice. Saul is rejected from being king and told that to obey is better than sacrifice. Samuel destroys Agag. Okay. Samuel also said unto Saul, The Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way, when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not. But slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together, and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen, and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek, and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye shewed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until they comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag the king of all the Amalekites alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refuse they destroyed utterly. Let us pause for just a minute here. See, if you will recall, when Israel first comes out of Egypt, even before they got to Mount Sinai, Amalek came out and attacked. And that was when Moses had to hold his hands up, and Joshua won battle. This is this is saying that because of that, God's now telling Saul to wipe out the Amalekites. Not sure why we waited 300 years, but this is the first time since Joshua that they have a single unified central leadership, so that could be why. But anyways, he's told to go wipe them out, just like Joshua was told to wipe out certain peoples completely. Just destroy them. And so he goes. But I do know the Kenites. I am pretty sure that the Kenites refer to the family of Jethro, or the descendants of Jethro, Moses' father-in-law. Yes. These are the descendants of Jethro. They were living among the Amalekites, apparently. And Saul comes up. He's going to destroy the Amalekites, but he tells the Kenites to get out of there. I like that. So I'm here to destroy the Amalekites. You guys, you're good. Just leave. And they all pack up and leave and let Saul destroy the Amalekites. That's also kind of funny. But you'll note they do not kill the king of the Amalekites. King Agag is left alive. And they keep all the best stuff. They destroy all the lame animals, but they keep all the best stuff. God told them to destroy everything. All living things were to be wiped out, but they did not obey. So let us continue for a short time here. This is verse 10. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me, and hath not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. So, anyway, I think we all know what's going on there. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel, and the Lord anointed thee king over Israel? And the Lord sent thee on a journey, and said, Go, and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord? Excuse me. And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. And Samuel said, Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. Now, there's not too much left in this chapter. We're going to pause here for this video. I think Saul actually was being honest in what he's saying here. I think he did think, well, we're going to kill him anyways, might as well bring him back and sacrifice him. I think that's largely his reasoning. Now, there was probably some greed in there that he wanted some of these things, but I think there was largely it was we were commanded to kill him. Doesn't matter if we kill him in the battle or if we kill him on the altar. Now, the thing that he didn't do, that he should have done, why did he save the king alive? That you can't sacrifice the king. You don't do human sacrifices. So that part doesn't make any sense. That's where I think his real failure was. But I also wanted to go back when God tells Samuel, "It repented me that I made him king." Samuel's reaction is almost mourning. He is praying for Saul. I think Samuel loved Saul. Now, we don't know how long it has been from the early days and the chapter 14 and Jonathan routing the Philistines and everything. We don't know how long it's been, but it's almost certainly been a number of years. Probably at least 5 or 6 years minimum. I think closer probably 10, 15 personally. But we don't really know. And so I think that Samuel, he was getting old, but he's not that old. Yeah, I mean, he's probably in his 60s when he anoints Saul to be king. Might have only been in his 50s. He anointed Saul. And then you get 10 years of Saul being king. And Saul, he had his faults. He made the one sacrifice that he shouldn't have made. And after that, he had some faults, but he was still a good king for who he was. He was leading the people out. He was protecting the people. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing. And then he gets this message from God. And he goes out. And I think Samuel really loved Saul. And when he has to go and tell Saul that God is mad at him, Samuel doesn't really want to do it. I think Samuel really loved Saul and was just heartbroken that Saul was being rejected. But we will finish this story in the next video. It won't be too long, but I want to leave that one here. So see you then.